Alright, day one of the league completed. I'm going to talk about my build real quick. I decided to build a General Cyclone+shockwave Scion, and this is how I built it. Went down path all through this stuff. Some of the more notable nodes, I'm grabbing the 10% of life as instant from Life Leech, 10% more maximum physical attack damage. Grabbing this one for a 2% reduced duration of ailments inflicted on you per fortification, and I'm getting 26 fortification, so I get 52 reduced duration of ailments. I'm getting that through the champion ascendancy, and through the saboteur ascendancy I'm primarily doing it for the cooldown reduction and all that area of effect stuff, but the blind is also nice. Getting mace nodes because I'm running a big two-handed mace using shockwave. Eventually I'm going to go into that really big heavy hitting mace with slow attack speed that I can't pronounce the name of. That's going to be the end goal. Some of the more cute interactions is this one right here. 10% chance on hitting an enemy for all impales on that enemy to last an additional hit. This works extremely well with Shockwave. So when you have Shockwave, Shockwave is extremely slow and it's on a cooldown, but it hits extremely large. So we get a 35,000 hit with Shockwave on a very slow 1.3 attacks per second. And then Cyclone, which attacks much faster, but pretty much 4 attacks per second with my slow attack speed, only does 8,000 damage, but that 8,000 damage is going to proc this 35,000 damage 40% of the time every second, because I'm attacking 4 times per second, and every 10% of the time I hit, it adds another impale of that damage type. So these big shockwaves are going to be getting pumped up by the Cyclone, and it's going to have a really nice additive effect of damage from impale. Now right now my impale chance is only 60, so I need to pump up my impale chance to 100%. I'm probably going to do that by just pathing over this way to get 100% until I can find a more effective way to do that. That's going to be a huge damage boon. And then I also have the Sunder, which is hitting for 15,000, which is also pretty strong, but the attacks are less than a second. But that's fine because they only attack once and then they vanish. It feels very good. It feels very nice. It's been a smooth mapper. We have some other cool techniques. +1 to maximum resistance from this passive. +1 to maximum resistance from this passive, giving me a total of 80 for these two and 79 for lightning. And I'm at 39, which is pretty nice. In terms of what I purchased, I bought this for 1C, I bought this for 13C. Everything else I found on my own. Some of this stuff still needs major upgrades, like this ring, this amulet. Those are my 2 big ones, but this glove could use an upgrade, but it's alright. It's got a triple res, so it's fine for now. This helmet's okay. It could use an upgrade. In fact, I'm going to hit it with a divine orb, right? This exalted orb. This is the highest currency I've gotten so far. Let's see. Actually, should I hit it? Well, it has armor and get a random. Yeah, I'm going to get a random suffix. I like the armor. Random suffix, global accuracy, and armor. I like it. I like it a lot. I need the accuracy. Oh, that's light radius, not armor. Don't need the light radius, but I do need the accuracy. Totally fine with that hit. Very nice, very nice. That is, I think, it. Let's take a look at what I'm doing on my atlas. I'm getting all this breach love. I'm gonna head down here and get this breach love, maps and breaches for now, and then I'm gonna eventually path out of this area and complete my atlas passive. Now let's run a map. It's a pretty juicy map. Might hurt. Poison's gonna be rough. 92% extra fizz is lightning is gonna be rough. And then less area of effect. It needs to be corrupted. I need the bonus for this bad boy. And it got even nastier. Got even nastier. But that should be fine. That is a big boy. Let's throw, since it's such a big boy, let's get some juice. No, let's get this. More enemies to kill. Why are you mad? Oh, I don't have any red. I'm dumb. Let's pretend that didn't happen. Let's force an abyss. Wait, no, let's force. I don't want to force any of that. I want the 6%. I wanted to force a breach if I had it, but they don't have it on there. Smooth as butter. And the Cyclone playstyle, it is great. Somehow all my auras stopped casting. The Cyclone playstyle is as smooth as it has always been. Cyclone doesn't do any damage, so you have to use other stuff besides Cyclone, which is absolutely devastating, heart-wrenching, soul-crushing. I vehemently disagree with all of their Cyclone nerfs. Passionately disagree with their Cyclone nerfs. But what am I going to do? I'm going to still play Cyclone, because it's just great. You can see those Sunders are looking real nice. Let me just run only Sunder for a couple seconds. The Just Sunder, they're hitting pretty hard on just the 4 link, and they're going to hit even harder once I get that 6 link. And that super slow attacking mace. I might have to do something with the cooldowns, because I might be at too high of a cooldown rate with my War Cries once I get that slower attacking mace, because they might not be able to use Sunder. I might have to switch skills to something that attacks a little more faster. Now, channeling skills would be great because they channel, so I could just put another Cyclone on it and have them cyclone around like I'm cycloning around. Or the only other one that's channeling for a 2-handed mace would be Charge Dash, but it splits the damage, so I don't really want to use Charge Dash. But Sunder works pretty well. I'm enjoying Sunder, and the playstyle is excellent. It's just fun to play. Deaths are... kind of common. More common than some people would be comfortable with. But it's softcore. I'm totally comfortable with the amount of times I die playing this character. It's every now and then, but it's not egregious. I'm still leveling up fine. It's still pretty smooth. Now, obviously, if you're doing like a legitimate real starter and not this janky thing that I wanted to play because it looks fun and cool, but if you're doing a real starter, it's obviously going to outperform this. My bro's SRS build highly outperforms this. But it works pretty well. It's doing actually better than I thought it would do. It's doing pretty great. I like it. It's fun. It's engaging. It's Cyclone. It's Shockwave. It's General's Cry. It's nice. It's just a good time. Good time for everyone. I want to find something to increase the duration of my fortification because the 6 seconds is a little low. Just because of how important fortification is for my defenses, because I'm not rocking determination or grace, so that mitigation is extremely important. And not working determination or grace means that I can get one shot, and certain things are dangerous. I tried to run my final lab and just died to a buzzsaw, because I'm pretty sure buzzsaw damage is mitigated by determination and high armor, which I don't have. Let's take a look at my defenses as I stroll around. So I'm looking at 51% physical damage reduction with all my stacks on deck. Bottles on ice, which isn't that great. And I just added this to the mix so I can actually do the league mechanics. This is the first time doing the league. Oh, I can't, never mind. I still can't do the league mechanic. I think the league mechanic is a little janky because you can't use it on uniques. You can only use it on rares, and anyone who's a unique scrub like me who just buys uniques to use because it's easier than trying to mess with rolling a good rare, they're a little hosed on this league mechanic, which I don't know how I feel about. I think it's a slight oversight. Apparently somehow you can roll uniques. I don't know what you have to do to roll uniques, but once I figure out how to start rolling uniques in there, it'll be great. Until then, I haven't really done the league mechanic. I've done a little bit when I'm co-oping with my brother, because he's doing it for his items. He's got a shield and a weapon. He's doing it on both. And it feels like the new league mechanic is a bit rippy. It's like totally easy, totally easy, totally easy, until like it really is not totally easy anymore. Kind of ramps up almost like a roguelike where you're bored fighting it until you pump it up just a little too much, and then all of a sudden it's damn near impossible. I think Path of Exile kind of likes that playstyle. That's why they invented like the Uber bosses. It's just something to really pump up the damage. It's just a bit of a too much of a spike. It's like you're on a 3% gradient going up a hill, and that 3% turns to 15% instantly, and your car's now struggling because you put on some pounds, you know. You need to lose some weight. Car can't even handle your fat ass anymore. This isn't spoken from experience or anything. This isn't like deep-seated mental trauma that I'm talking about here. This is just a pure hypothetical. My car's got plenty of power. It doesn't struggle going uphill because of my lard. That's just a pure figment. A pure hypothetical example. Now, if you pay close attention, you can see some of these shockwaves get that 50% more damage, and you'll see big old chunks pop out of their health, and that feels pretty nice too. When you get that small per chance to get a double damage, and then once I start getting some crit going, it's going to be pretty nice as well. I think I'll amp up my bleed chance as well, so these big old bleeds will override each other, and it could be pretty smooth with some bleed as well. I didn't realize how much damage I was doing with my bleed until I looked at it. And the bleed damage is actually pretty high. Pretty high for having literally no investment. And the poison. Poison kicked in. Poison or bleed. I think it was poison, because I think poison lasts longer. Bleed usually will fade away quick enough. But even with that 52%, it still gets a little rippy in terms of the ailments. I have immunity to corrupting blood from the passive tree. But bleed and poison are still a little bit of a problem. Bleed, poison, and ignite. 52% reduction. Not quite enough. I need to get a little bit more. I need to find a way to get more. I bought the jewel thinking it would work, but it's a different kind. Fire Song. I bought this jewel right here. Modifiers to ignite duration on you apply to all ailments. But that's different than this. Reduced duration. They don't stack. I was trying to do that with the Pantheon that does -60 to ignite, and it doesn't work with the duration. It only works with the avoidance. And that's why that jewel is so much more expensive than this jewel. Which is sad. But it's true. Was that a Metallica song lyric name? It's sad, but it is true that it was. Did I do it on purpose? No. Would have been a lot cooler if I had. It just kind of happened. Sad but true. That did happen. Bump, bump, bump. Alright, that's good enough. That is good enough. This is the Scion General's Cry Cyclone Shockwave build. If this damage does not continue to ramp up into the tier 16 and into the boss range, I could always convert it into the standard test-proven General Cry build, which uses the Paradoxica and the General Cry shield to give you infinite power, which I don't understand, because if your damage from General's Cry scales off of power, so the more power you have, the more damage General's Cry does, having infinite power would mean you would have infinite damage. So I think GGG is just being cheeky with the term infinite power, because there's probably a power cap. Like, power can't go infinite, because if power went infinite, not only would the game not be able to calculate the mathematics behind infinite applying to infinite applying to infinite, it would just break. So what it means to say is you have a maximum power, not infinite power, because that's just silly. Unless I'm understanding something woefully wrong, which I never, ever, ever do. That's the build. Check you boys later.